Dan, and this is my September roundup. Today is the 7th of October. It's early afternoon. Little Miss is asleep behind me. You can see her feet there. So while she's sleeping, I thought I'll just do a quick recording while I'm free and there's no disturbances. Because this is very, very, very last minute, I have absolutely no notes. I've just written down the different segments for the roundup. I haven't written any other details other than that. I also don't have, there won't be any what's on Valerie, and there probably won't be a word for the month, though I might add that in right at the end if possible. You can find me, I forgot to say at the beginning, you can find me on Ravelry as YummyTripletMummy, and also on Instagram as Mrs. You Makes. There's also a Ravelry group called Mrs. You Makes. It'll be great to see a few more people on there and to get the conversation going. At the moment, I seem to be the only person posting on there, so it would be great if anyone watching joins up and joins in the conversation. There's threads there to share any Mrs. You Makes patterns that you knit up, and also there's threads to show current projects you're working on and other things that you finished. And there's also a thread for sharing recipes as well, so it'll be great to see you on there. Also, I'm on Craftsy as YummyTripletMummy, and on Facebook as well. There's a Mrs. You Makes Facebook page, but I'm mostly active on Ravelry and Instagram. So join me there if you're not already following me on those things. Okay, so let's get started. I will add that I'm recording this on a tablet as opposed to the camera that I normally use. So because the tablet lens is here and the screen for the tablet is there, it feels a bit weird. My face is here, but to actually make it look like I'm actually looking at you, I need to look at the lens. So if you see my eyes darting around, that's the reason why. Okay, so I'll start first of all, as always, with done and dusted. I did have quite a few finished projects in September, though all but one of them are not with me. I made them for a relative who gave birth in September. She lives in New York. She had a baby girl, and so those things have already been sent off. But the items I made were the chicory top. Let me just see if I can get the details of who made that. There's the chicory top, which is a cardigan that was designed by Sarah Pope. And then I made Circle of Heart socks. That was designed by Patty Pierce Stone. Though I made slight changes for that one. For that one, there was hearts going around the cuffs or the leg, but I omitted the hearts and just made a simple looking toe up sock. And then I also made the ruffalo hat, which is one of my hat designs for children, which is yet to be released. I'm working on a few others before putting them together in an ebook. And I think I made another hat for her as well, which will also go into the same ebook, and two other pair of socks also, but they were part of the August roundup, I believe. Yeah, they were in the August roundup. So I will try and add a picture of those either here, but if not, you can just go to my Ravelry page and you can check those out there. The one finished object I do have with me are my September socks, and for this I used the Bodhi pattern by Rachel Coopy. These are the socks here. I just they've been blocking throughout this week. I've just left them on the sock blockers. yeah, you can just about see the pattern quite well there. For the cuffs, I used DY Choice. I can't remember what the color is, but this was the yarn I used in my 3-in-1 top, and the same yarn for the toe and heel. For the foot, I used Rico Design Superb Poems. That's the same yarn I used in my June socks. The pattern was very, very straightforward and easy to follow. It's partly charted, partly written. So yeah, it took a little while for me to be able to follow and memorize the actual the charts. But once you get, because parts of the chart are repeated, once you've done one row, then you just need to remember to carry on for however many number of rows. Then it's easy to follow through without having to have the chart with you all the time. The cuffs are worked over 20 rows, I think it was. And then for the leg, the original pattern, the socks are longer, but because of time and also not wanting to run out of yarn, I made these a bit shorter. I've worked the first 10 rows of the pattern for the leg, and then I did a German short row heel. This was my first time doing a German short row heel, and I did like it a lot better than the other one I used. I'm not sure what type of heel, what type of short row heel that is, but I liked this a lot better, because you don't have to do or the wrap and turn short rows. You don't have to do the wrap and turns, so this was a lot better to do. The leg, I think I did it over 56 rows. Normally I would do 60 using 2.25 needles, but for this I use a 2.5 needle, so I did 56 rows. And then the toes was normal toe decrease, finishing with the Kitchener stitch. So to look at like this, I do like it, and I think the pattern works. This is the other foot. I wasn't too bothered about trying to match up the colours, because I worked from both ends of the ball of yarn. So like this, I think it looks great. The only problem is, I think because of the colour and also because of the texture of the yarn, when I'm wearing them, I'll just show you an example. When I'm wearing them, you can't see the stitch pattern so well. So, well, here it's not too bad, but when it's actually on my foot, the stitch pattern doesn't seem to show through so well. So I'm not sure if that's just maybe because it wasn't blocked before, or if the camera is able to just pick up more of the detail. But yeah, they do look very, very good, and I am happy with them. Yeah, so this is the only physical finished object I have at the moment. Okay, so moving on to whips. Again, I have, excluding the mitered square blankets, I have 4 whips at the moment. 3 of those are the Atlas jumpers I'm making for the triple arters. Yeah, there's nothing much to show on those. One of them, the one for Mr. Man, I've worked that up to the point where you divide to work the back. With Mr.'s one, I've worked through 1 skein, so I'll start the 2nd skein soon. And with Jimmy Jr.'s, I've just started working the 1st skein of his jumper, just to get it to work on the actual body. So there's not much to show there. The 4th whip that I have one is a shawl for my September-October shawl. I've only started it now because I'm entering this into a knit along. I'm doing it as part of the Down Cellar Studios pigskin party. This is a knit along that runs along the Super Bowl, which finishes sometime 2017, the beginning of 2017. I'm not sure exactly when. And also within that knit along, you can get extra points for the Big Bad Burger Along, which is another knit along that the same person is running, which goes through October. So that's kind of, I think it's they've referred to it as an interception. So it's another knit along they're doing, and if you're taking part in both the pigskin party and the Big Bad Burger Along, you get extra points for completing the Big Bad Burger Along within October. So initially I wasn't going to do a September-October shawl because in August, August, I did the Linus of the Lion on the Lion shawl, and I also took part in the Gondola shawl cowl. I was going to make my Gondola shawl my September-October shawl, but when I saw that I can't even remember the lady's name who's actually hosting the cowl. I'll put it somewhere here once I've found it. But yeah, she's because she's hosting this Melanie Berg along. Yeah, I couldn't miss the chance to take part, and I was going to work the Sunwalker for this particular month anyway. So I thought, why not? It's a shawl that I made for my mum for Christmas. I think it was either last Christmas or the one before, and I'd always wanted to make one for myself. So yeah, I started on Sunday? No, Saturday I started, and this is what I've got so far. I'm using Fibre Spates Scrumptious 4-ply for this. This is the yarn that I was initially using to make the Rosa shawl, but I was getting very, very bored with that shawl, even though the original shawl is just supposed to be in plain garter stitch. So to give it some interest, I added stocking stitch kind of columns in it, and even with that I was still getting bored, so I decided to frog that and use the yarn to make the Sunwalker, and I think it's a great colour for that. I've only got 2 skeins of this. I will need another skein to finish off the Sunwalker, so I may buy another one in the same colour or get a contrasting colour. I haven't decided yet, so I won't really need to bother with that until I get closer to the point where I would want to add another colour if I was going to. But yeah, I'm still at the beginning stages. I haven't got to the lace section yet, but I will try and add a picture of that here. So yeah, it's a really nice shawl. The one I made for my mum, I used Fibre Spates Vivacious 4-ply, and that came out really nice. This yarn is a lot squishier than that, and it has a bit of a halo. I'm not sure if you can see that to it. So it's one of those ones, well, I wouldn't say it has a halo. I think this is just from being a bit roughed up. So once this is made, I am going to have to take care of this just to make sure it doesn't peel too much. But yeah, I'm happy so far. Working along nicely on that. So yeah, that's the only whip I have to show. What's next? What next? Goodies. Let me just clear some of these things and then I will get the goodies together. Okay, Mrs. Yu woke up just as I was getting a few things together, so I'm going to try not to talk too loudly so she doesn't wake up again. She's gone back to sleep. You might be able to hear her snoring slightly. So yeah, I do have a few goodies for September. September. Some of them were through D-Stash and the rest were through the Young Club subscription. I will start with the D-Stash ones first. The first D-Stash I received, I think it was this one, which is W Bliss Eco Baby. It's a cotton yarn, 100% organic cotton, 125 meters per 50 gram. There's no color, but I've looked online and the color I believe is noir or black. So yeah, I got 10 of these in the D-Stash, and I will tell you what I'll be using this for in the next segment. But yeah, I was very happy to receive this, and the price was very good as well. I got 10 balls of this, even with my the project I have in mind to use for this, I will still have a good amount left over to make something else. The next one I got in D-Stash was 2 skeins of, now I don't know how to pronounce this properly, so please excuse me if I am completely butchering it. It is Araucania Lace Merino DK. Again, another black yarn. I think until now didn't have any. I'd never really bought any black yarn. Yeah, so as I said, 2 skeins of these. In total, there are 550 meters, and 200 grams, 100 grams each, but together 550.5 meters together. And this is 100% merino. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this, whether I'll do something for myself or Little Miss. Let me just, you can see a bit better. Yeah, I don't know, that makes it easier to see. Not really. The lighting's really not good. The cold weather is slowly setting in, though lately in the mornings it's been very cold, and by the time we get, well, this time is normally warm and sunny, so I think the autumn is slowly creeping in and summer is disappearing. So yes, as I was saying, I haven't decided what I will do with these, whether I will make something for myself or one of the kids, but we'll see. And again, I got a good price for these also, so I was happy to receive that. I don't know why I never considered buying anything from D-Stash before, because you can sometimes get some good deals. And with the Sunwalker shawl, the yarn I'm using for that, the Fiber Spades one, I will initially try and get that through a D-Stash, so at least that way I can probably save some money. The next, this is the most recent D-Stash I got. This is Knitted Wet Shine, which is a 50% superwash merino, 50% tencel. It's 4 ounce, 410 yards per 4 ounces. I'm not sure what the conversion for that is. I have it written somewhere. I think maybe in Ravelry. Color wise, I think that's, it's not as blue as it's showing on screen. It's slightly greener than what's showing up on screen. This colorway is called Buckle My Shoe. I've been on Ravelry and seen that this particular yarn is discontinued. So it will be difficult to get another skein if I wanted to make something larger. So most likely this will go into a shawl. I'm not sure yet what yet. I haven't exactly decided, but yeah. This is one that I'll keep for a while and maybe see if I can pair it up with another shade or something. Well, yeah, I was very happy with this, and again another bargain. Okay, so on to actual new purchases. The what was I going to say? Yeah, I received the third quarter, the yarn for the third quarter of the Third Vault Yarns club. This particular club was themed on Hunger Games. Yeah, so as always, receive one skein, 4 mini skeins, and some extra goodies. I'll start with the goodies and I'll build up to the main skein. The goodies we received was these beads. I believe the beads can be used in a pattern that's also part of the club package, but we haven't received the pattern yet. That should be sent anytime now. And along with that, we got these you know what they're called, stitch markers, that's the word. So this one is an arrow. Got this tree with flash of lightning. Now it's a while since I've seen the films and I've only seen the first 2, so all of these references I'm not 100% sure what the all the stitch markers represent. I'd have to rewatch the films to work it out. There's a rose, and also these stitch markers, some of them have one of the beads on them as well. There's a clock face and a musical note. There was also a, where's my bag? There was also a mockingjay, what's the word? Key ring, yes, keychain or key ring. That's on my keys, so I might add a picture of that. My bag is, I think it's in the other room behind me in the playroom. Yeah, so I won't get it now, but yeah. So yes, yeah, the keychain was very good. I put that onto my keys as soon as I saw it. Yeah, so they were the extras. The minis, I think it's very obvious there's no notes to this. My mind is everywhere. The minis here. This one is called Mockingjay. Let's just check this one, is that the right one? Yeah. This one is called The Roses. It's white, but there are a few red specks, as you can see there. This one is called Old Blood. This one here. And it's lightly redder than this is showing. And it's more like a dusty red colour in real life. And this one is called The Capital. And it has splashes of different colours like blues, greens. There's a bit of pink in there as well. And purples. Yeah. And these all together collectively are referred to as Burn the Capital. And I love how she's worked this club because the name for the mini skeins is linked together with the name for the main club skein, which is this. This is called The Girl. These are all superwash merino, and there's 20 grams each, 80 meters in each one. So yeah, back to the main club scheme. This is called The Girl. Now, though I absolutely love the colour, it presents a problem because I have no idea what to do with it. If it was just like this, I'll get to the colours in a moment. If it was just like this, then I was thinking, wow, I could make a great shawl with that. I'll just take a little bit closer so you can see. I think that would make an absolutely fantastic shawl. And if it was a little bit, if it was a little thicker, I think it would go well with this as a contrasting colour for the Sunwalker. Now, if it was just this colour, I think, wow, great for socks. I wouldn't do something like this for a shawl. I think it will be too light for me. But for socks, I'll be very happy to have socks in this colour like this. So yeah, separately, I could definitely easily decide what colour and what type of pattern to make. But together, I'm not 100% sure. Now, what I did have in mind was to possibly, because I want to make a doodler shawl, I did consider, well, I have considered using this as part of the doodler. So that's what my initial plans are for this. It's just finding 2 other schemes of yarn that will complement this, and then also deciding what part of the doodler this will be used for. Now back to the actual yarn itself. As I said, it's called The Girl. Now Lola, the dyer behind Third Vault Yarns, added this to the club package. It has details of the actual yarns, and she says that the club scheme is designed to represent Katniss Everdeen at both the beginning of her story and as the girl on fire. The icy blue represents Katniss in her dress when she volunteered as tribute for the reaping, and the fiery section with the black highlights represents both her district and her rise as the girl on fire in the capital. So as I said, this is called The Girl. This is called Burn the Capital, and together they make The Girl Who Burned the Capital, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I would love to be able to use all of these to make a pattern, and I will still consider that if I can think of something that will work well. I think the difficulty is not knowing exactly how this will knit up. So I will keep an eye out for others, recipients of the club package, and see what they do and how everything knits up. Yeah, I am extremely happy with this haul. Right. And just to add, for the final club package for the year, the choices we had to vote for were Doctor Who. What was the other one? It was Doctor Who. Dead Like Me, and I can't remember what the third choice was, but I will add that here. Oh, Haven, I think it was. I can't remember. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Doctor Who. Dead Like Me, and it's on the tip of my tongue. It's there, and it's a shame because I actually voted for it as well, and I can't remember what it was, but it's the one. One second, let me just find out. Okay, sorry. I had to check out what the third one was because it would have driven me crazy not knowing, especially as I actually voted for it. So the 3 options were Lord of the Rings was the one I couldn't remember, Dead Like Me, and Doctor Who. I voted for Lord of the Rings. I think that's in the lead at the moment. So yeah, out of those 3, there's none which I really have any what's the relation to. There's none that I really would say I'm a major fan of. So I think for the final quarter, I might just get the club scheme on its own, which is a possibility. You can go for the whole package, or just go for the club scheme on its own, or even get an extra club scheme. Oh, I forgot to add that this is 75% superwash BFL and 25% nylon. It's 100 grams and we're 425 meters. Yeah, I forgot to add that. So yeah, it'll be great if someone else who's part of the club does make something with this, so I can see how it knits up, and then hopefully I could use all of them together to make something great. Yeah, that is all my acquisitions and goodies for September, so I'll put these away and I'll be right back. Okay, so now it's waiting in the wings. I only currently have one project which I would say is that I'm going to make. I had hoped to have started it by now, but I'm just waiting. I haven't downloaded the actual pattern yet, but I do have most of the yarn and I can actually start it now. It is, one moment, sorry, I completely forgot the name of the project that I want to work on. Okay, it is the Blue Sands cardigan. It's designed by, okay, alright, again, sorry for butchering the name. It is La Maison Rilili or Rilili, I'm not sure at all. Here's a picture of it. I've just realised that I have my phone next to me, so I could actually show you a picture of it instead of having to insert pictures in all the time. What made me really want to do this project was one picture that I'd seen on Pinterest, and I'll just bring that up now, which is this. Just seeing, particularly there's one here. Just seeing that just made me want to actually work on this project. I think it looks absolutely amazing, especially the way they've worked up the colours. I think had I just seen the original one, I'm not sure I would have had an interest in making it, but seeing that one that was made up and the way they've worked the colours, I just thought yes. And by accident, I realized that I actually have yarn that I can use that to make that, and that is the Eco Baby. The original one, yarn was used using Rowan, I think it's Cotton Soft. So I didn't realize it was cotton it was made out of. So when I saw that it was cotton, and I knew I had over 1,000 meters of cotton yarn waiting to be used, definitely. To pair up with this one, I got this again, Debbie Bliss Eco Baby, the same yarn. This is the Kingfisher colorway, and I will be using this for the I'll just show you in a minute. I'll be using this for the shoulder and the top section there where you've got the light blue. So I'll be using this, and the black will be the main color, and the contrasting color here where you have the sort of grey, I will be using a greyish color as well. I know the color I'm going to use, I just haven't bought it yet, but I believe it's Storm. So I thought that these two with a grey would be perfect for each other. I think the grey is kind of like this sort of grey here. So I thought if that works well holding it like that, I don't know. So I thought that combination would be perfect. So yeah, I will start this soon, maybe over the weekend or sometime next week. I just want to get a bit of headway on the Sunwalker, which is why I haven't actually bought the pattern yet, otherwise I'd start straight away. So yeah, that's the only planned pattern I have. I will of course be making my October socks. I haven't decided what those socks will be. I might use Yorkshire spinners. If I do that, I'll use their signature range, the self-striping one. So if I do that, then it'll just be some plain vanilla socks because that's self-patterning already. So yeah, there's no other real plans for anything specific that I want to make, and I'm not sure if with the cowl going on for the shawl and with the socks needing to be finished in October, the shawl needing to be finished in October, and then with this cardigan as well. I don't think I'll be really adding any extra projects because then I've also got the 3 Atlas jumpers that I really want to make some headway in. I want to at least have them all at the point, at least have the main body finished by the end of the month for all of them, which wouldn't be too bad. But then I have to consider I've got these other projects as well, so I don't want to add too many extra projects to that. Yeah, I think that is everything. As I said, there's no what's on Ravelry at the moment because as you can see, I'm in the living room and Valerie is in the bedroom. I'm using a tablet to record on. It'll be I don't want to move it around too much. And yeah, this is a very, very, very last minute. I only decided this morning on the way back from taking the triple artist to school that to actually do a recording now. And also the word for the month, I will try and add something onto the screen at the end before the end credits for that. Hopefully next month's roundup would be a lot more organized. What else to add? Yeah, regarding other videos such as tutorials and recipes, I won't be able to do them properly for a while just because of issues with camera and setting up. If I was to do them, it would most likely be more of a picture slideshow sort of thing. So I'm just seeing how I can work that. And also time. Little Miss is moving around a lot and it's difficult to do. It will be difficult to do something like that where I'm having to keep her stationary. Yeah, she, ever since she learned how to walk, she just likes to run up and down and she likes to follow me wherever I go. Putting her in the high chair, she doesn't like being in there for very long. Even when it comes to eating, she doesn't really like being in there long. So it's one of those things where a food-based or even a food-based video or slideshow would probably most likely take place when Mr. U or someone else is around to keep an eye on her, and a crafty-based one again would be at a time when I know she can just be when she's sleeping and I can quickly whip something up. So yeah, and I know I do need to do part 2 of the dome ring, the beaded dome ring tutorial. I know I'm not happy about the fact that I did part 1 and part 2 is still nowhere to be seen, but I will endeavour to try and get that done as soon as possible. It's just a matter of getting materials together. The beads and stuff I had, the triple artists had a bit of a snoop around in the bedroom and a few of the seed beads were flown around the place, so I need to just gather everything, see what's there, see if I can continue from where I left off or if I need to start again and or use another colour just to finish it off. So yeah, but I will try to get some more things out whenever it's possible. So I think that is everything. Yeah. So yeah, as I just said, there are other videos for you to watch, recipes and crafty tutorials, so do check that out on the channel. Again, join the Ravelry group if you haven't already done so and take part in the chatter. Yeah, I think that's about it. Nothing much else to add. So have a great rest of the month and I will see you again in November. Bye. Hi, it's now the 10th of October. It's just gone after 10 in the morning, and I thought I'd just do a quick recording for the word of the month before editing the roundup video. Little Miss is asleep. She's still in the buggy. We just came back a few minutes ago. So yeah, I just thought instead of just writing something up and putting it on the screen, I'll do a quick video for the word of the month. And for this one, it's going to be slightly different in terms of the nature of the scripture. It's taken from Matthew 25, verse 24, verse 24 and 25. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. Now, the background to this, this is the parable of the talent. And you had a man who was going to take a journey. So he called 3 of his servants. He gave one of them 3 talents, he gave one of them 5 talents, another one he gave 2, and another one he gave 1. And he gave them according to what their ability was. And the other 2 servants who received the 5 and the 2 talents came back, and they had increased the amounts that he had given them. But this particular servant who only received 1 talent, because he was afraid, didn't do anything with it, just hid the money and then brought it back to the master. And then if you read on to the next verses, you'll see that the master is angry and calls him a wicked and lazy person, saying that if you knew the kind of person that I was, that I take what's not mine, that well, basically, why didn't you then just put the money into like a bank or somewhere where it would get some kind of interest, so at least what I gave you would have increased. And I'm sharing this today because it relates to the message we received on Sunday from our pastor. He's currently doing a series relating to your mindsets and how the kind of things that affect our mindset, and how that can also how our mindset can affect what we do in life and our success and things that we're able to achieve. And this is one of the scriptural references that he used, saying how because of this servant's mindset, they were fearful that if they were to put the money into some kind of business as the other 2 servants did, they would have lost the money, and instead they just did nothing with it, thinking that it's better to do nothing than to do something and lose. Where in fact, instead of having and just going back, having that, relating that to us, sometimes we might have in mind to do something, but then out of fear of failure, we end up not taking that step forward. And so what his message was about was just saying that it's having that mindset of failure can stop you stepping forward, but it's better to have a mindset of that even if I go forward and try out this thing, if I fail, that's still a success, in the sense that you can learn from your failure. And then if just looking in the world at different businessmen and women who are successful, those things didn't happen overnight. There would have been things that they tried that didn't work out, but then when that happens, they'll look at what they did wrong, try again, and next time do it better, or try something in a different way. And that's basically what I wanted to share with you today for this particular month, is that if there is anything that you want to do, don't allow fear of failure to stop you from at least trying. Because even if you do fail, at least first of all you can say that you tried to actually do something. And then if you do fail, at least you can say, okay, well, this didn't go well because of this, or I did this wrong, or maybe I rushed into this part too soon. So then you're able to take that step back, look at what you did, and learn from that experience, so that we're going forward, you can try again, and you know a better way to approach things. And even if that then fails too, at least you know, okay, this didn't work, I'll try it that way. So our mindsets can a lot of the times hold us back, and that mindset of fear of failure is one of those things that does stop a lot of people going forward, either in business or in terms of maybe things that they want to study, or even if it's just I don't know, somebody who wants to go and maybe run a marathon. They might have that fear that they're not going to be able to complete it or something. But even if they just try and maybe 1 year they don't make it, at least next year they'll say, okay, maybe I didn't put enough practice in, maybe I didn't prepare myself enough. This time I know what I need to do. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with you today. So I hope this month going forward that you will have that confidence, that mindset of just try and see what happens and learn from whatever happens, instead of just saying, well, it might not work, so I'm not going to do it. And it's something that I'm trying to do as well with the plans I have for my pattern designing. I've been trying to think of ways that I can bring out more patterns. So I've decided next year my focus will be more towards designing patterns. So right now I'm just getting myself into I'm preparing myself for that in terms of thinking of designs, planning stitches, planning what yarns to use, things like that, just getting myself ready to really delve more into pattern designing and learn more about that. That's one of the reasons why I've been doing the 1 sock a month and 2 shawls, the 1 shawl every 2 months, just to prepare myself in learning different techniques and shapings and things like that. So yeah, I hope that has helped you and that is an encouragement for you in going forward this month. As always, if you want to check out other videos, I do have those available, past roundups, and also some tutorials on and recipes as well. And hopefully next month I will have things more prepared, so the word for the month will be part of the roundup itself. So yeah, have a great rest of the month. Bye.